Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. It used to be like joining the military for reasons as patriotism, the desire to defend your country, for ideal reasons, not for monetary reasons. And therefore, when you have people in the military who join the military because they have this inner flame of patriotism and the desire to defend their nations, their extended family, which is a nation, then you have people who are able on the battlefield to sacrifice for their country willingly, and you will have a lot of courageous heroes. Now, this article points to a different story, and this article comes from ABC News, and this is the title: Military, the US military, struggling to find new troops as fewer young Americans willing and able to serve. Why wouldn't you be willing? Well, one of the reasons these guys here are mentioning is that there's no, they lose the battle, the military loses the financial battle with the market. They claim that um, the American youth rather stay home and receive checks from whomever, or go and find jobs that pay better than going into military. That's one. And the other one, it mentions obesity and other medical issues that American youth is experiencing. I go in public and I see the obesity situation being, I would say, alarming. And I'm involved with youth as well. And I know for a fact, and the statistics are also on my side, stating of what are the percentages, is the rate of, I have to put it mildly because I have no intention of hurting anybody's feelings, but I have to say certain things in a mild way. I have to tell the truth, which is mental illness and is very prevalent in the children here in the United States and the population overall, and in medication as Adderall and other kind of medication that are affecting people's moods and brains, obviously. So you can't go in, I mean, you can, but what kind of army will you have? You have to have a healthy, strong, young person who is able to, can go and perform in the field. It has to go with, I don't know, 60 pound of equipment, for instance, and I don't know, go and march for 20 miles or something straight, right? And then rest 1 hour, 2 hours, and then go and fight the enemy or whatever they need to do. So you can't afford having, a weak, pussified, uh, obese or mentally ill army. I mean, if you have that kind of army, imagine you find a healthy army, physically and mentally. So I hope that people who serve in the army, they go over there and they go over there to sometimes risk their lives, are going over there because of their inner flame of patriotism and love of their country, and they don't look at, hey, I'm not paid enough for doing that job, because for there's a preference, not a preference, but you go over there and you go for the love of your country. Now I know that if you look in the history, um, let's say from 200 years back, you had your pay for going. Even the Romans had. Uh, they were paid in salt and other things, including the loot. So, for instance, when Napoleon was fighting the alliance against him, whenever he was conquering something, he provided he allowed his troops to go in the town and put it nicely, help themselves with whatever they could find. And I think they did this to Vienna, one of the most uh, notorious times. But maybe my memory doesn't serve me well. It would be too early, but nevertheless, I'm just saying, you can find a society. What can you do to improve this state of affair? I think the first one is the right education, which means school, mass media, entertainment. Not a false narrative, a real narrative that your country is strong, that your country is not apologetic, that your country deserves this. It should aim for these goals, stands behind these kind of ideals. And that has to be done. You don't have to be a defeated country, like hating your country, because patriotism goes. So that has to be maintained by showing the historical achievements, by example of other heroes who fought before you and they are revered. But if you tell them that they were slave owners, or if you say that they had mistresses, or I don't know, they waved a certain flag, and therefore they're bad, your patriotism is going to be divided first in half, and then a quarter, and then so on. So you can't do that if you want to have a country and you have a healthy mental public that would go and enroll in the army. Now, or now, go and subscribe over there. Now, the other thing, the mental health issue. The mental health issue is, again, a lot of it is created by the environment and unnecessary wants created in a society and used as an example. I take a look at some advertisements, and sometimes I don't watch movies, but other people watch, so I can just pick here, pick over there, and 5 minutes is enough for me to get the idea of what's going on over there and how certain groups, how certain people, how certain events are portrayed by the new makers of our lives and society. And I realized that that creates false narratives, realities. For instance, if you're a girl, let's say you're 17, 16, and you look at watch some movies, you're gonna see over there a middle class woman who goes to work, is very nice dressed, is relaxed, is a boss, is a supervisor, or is the owner of a company, a CEO, civilized, drives a Mercedes or a better car, comes home, she just prepares food in the same clothes as she worked, very nice. In 3 seconds, the food is ready. They eat very nice with candles, with beautiful. But that's not reality. That's not reality. That's not how it works. And then that is made as an average middle class woman or man. And that's false. That's not a middle class woman or middle class man. And then they show big mansions and so on, and a clean, spotless house. That's not what it is. Those are wealthy that pay other people to do everything I said they will do. So then a child, impressionable child, teenager, sees all that and thinks that's my goal. And when she looks at her life or his life and says, wait a second, mine is not like that, when she gets 20, 22, and even before. Because they're children in the movies as well. And when you see the children in movies, you say, wait a second, I'm not like them. Why is not? And you think you're bad. You're not good enough. And then you are depressed. That's one reason. So that's one reason why certain people get depressed. Other ones with social media, where you look for, you have to prostitute yourself to get likes and be popular. And if you don't get enough likes or more likes than your friend, then you get depressed. It's like this popularity contest that destroys people's self-esteem, real self-esteem, without any reason. You should be what you are, but you're impressionable. You're a young, person. You're a teenage man, teenage girl, teenage boy. You're still figuring things out, and then you're already depressed. And how these guys solve depression? Mostly, go to a psychiatrist. It's gonna give you some medication, and it's gonna balance some things in your brain. That's what I say, chemicals in the brain. And then you take all these medication that make you half sedated, and then they affect something inside it. And when you're 40 or 50, you say, I'm going outside. Uh, I'm going outside. You know what are you talking about? But nevertheless, I have direct experience with the matter, and not only that, I read literature on that, and it's very depressing. Very depressing. Just read some statistics on how many children, use opiates legally, opiates, the opium, but it's prescribed medication. Look at it. How many children have mental health issues? Look and see. And that's scary because they will become adults and they're supposed to compete with the Chinese. I don't think so. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.